I am your host, FatDag, and you're listening to Wise Advice. My weight loss journey failed when I focused on how. It wasn't until I switched my focus to why that I truly transformed myself. Join the show on the web at FatDag.com and follow along on Twitter and Instagram at Wise Advice. Send in your comments, your questions, and your celebrations, and I'll include them as part of the show. But before we dive in, remember, when you're out of points, stop eating points. Hey, I'm honored to be your wingman as we walk through this journey together because I believe in you. Well, hello there. Welcome to episode 48 of Wise Advice. We got 41 of these in the books, rocking strong, and just want to give a quick minute to explain a little bit about what's going on here. And if you're following along on Connect and you're following along on Facebook and you're listening to the podcast daily, you'll know that it's a daily show, except for the days when it's not. And what I mean by that is man, I try and get this thing out daily because I know it's important. What we're doing takes constant focus. We have to keep our head in the game. And so I know from my own personal journey, I need that daily motivation. I need that daily inspiration. I need a daily dose of something to keep me in the game. So my full intent is to get this out daily for you. But the past couple of days, I've been working on a lot of things behind the scenes that are really going to enhance this, and it's really going to make this better. So I hope you understand the break was a good one. It was needed on my end to get a couple things caught up. I want to share those with you real quick. If you haven't already, go to FatDag.com. It's completely redesigned from the ground up. It is. I'm quite proud of it, to be honest, and I really spent a lot of time trying to figure this out, learning a lot of code, knew nothing about websites, and I think I got it pretty good. So I want you to check that out because there's a lot of things out there that you're going to have to dive through and look for. And there's of course my before and after photos, which are really cool. Those are out there. I do a daily weigh-in. As you know, I hop on my scale every single day. And if all I have to do is hop on the scale and it automatically gets published to the homepage of the website. It also gets published to the weight loss graph. You can see all of my stickers from when I was losing the weight, and then I follow them up at the bottom with all of my daily weight. So that's just kind of neat, just to kind of more or less, as you're listening, I just need you to know, and I want you to know that I'm working this plan with you. You know, I'm still struggling. I'm still working it. I'm still doing strong, and I want you to be able to see that what you're doing works if you continue to stay focused. And so there's also a blog. You can see I do a blog post on occasion. Go ahead and interact with that. Comment back. I'll spend a lot of time in there replying to your comments and interacting there. And then, of course, there's Listen Now. If you go right to FatDag.com, click on Listen Now, which is the last link on the top, it'll take you right to a player where you can listen right from FatDag.com and listen to all these episodes. You can see all the previous episodes. That's there. That's, of course, if you're not subscribed through iTunes or through the Google Play Store. But also, in this break, the other thing I got done is I got two other things done. We've finally released the Android app. The Android app is now in the Google Play Store. So go to Google Play, search for Wise Advice with FatDag, or simply FatDag, I think worked when I searched for it earlier. So there's an app. You just download the app. It works well. You can listen to all the episodes on your app. That works well. And then in the iTunes store, it should be out in the next 3 to 5 days or so. So keep looking for that if you're an iTunes folks. But Android wins this time. Android comes out first. So welcome to all the Android listeners. Great job. Thank you for being here. Again, honored to be walking this journey. So that kind of gets you caught up as to where we're at. Now we'll dive back into it because that's what we're all about, is just making sure that we share what's going on. And Jen writes in, Jen says, okay, I was going to wait till I hit 30 pounds down to send in a Bravo, but I couldn't resist. I'm really starting to believe in myself and in this journey. 12 pounds away from being in a healthy weight range. Starting to feel that I can manage any situation that comes my way. Kind of like a video game. Last night, the family wanted to go to Dairy Queen. I thought, well, how can I change this to a win-win for everybody? So I asked if we could go to the grocery store, get fixins for Sundays, and even make homemade fudge for them. So everybody agreed. I got my enlightened 2-point ice cream bar. Believing in yourself takes time. So fake it till you make it and commit to tracking. 21 days or so makes a habit, and it has gone from a chore to a game that I look forward to. I love your podcast. Listen every day. Thank you so much for all you do, Jen. Well, Jen, great job hitting 30 pounds down. So that is, so you didn't say where you're at, I guess, but you're on your way to 30. Let's go with that. And I'm going to say you're hitting 30 because your email sounds like you're going to do it. So congrats on hitting 30. Great work. As you know, that takes focus, discipline. You have to get that done. You have to stay mindful, and you're doing it. If you can lose 30, you can get goal. What I really liked is that you're starting to believe, and that's exactly how I started my journey. When I first started, I didn't believe in myself at all. I knew the program worked. I believed in the program. I believed that I joined the program many times, and every time I joined, it worked. So I knew the program worked, but I also knew that I wasn't able to stick with it. So I knew in a lot of ways for me it was just a temporary measure. So when I first got on Connect, and I could see all these amazing stories of all these amazing people who have done so well and reached their lifetime goal, man, it just looked so good. And so I was in your same scenarios. I said, I'm going to fake it. I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. And I'm not going to say fake it till I make it. I'm going to say I faked it until it became a habit. And so now I'm just doing the exact same stuff, but there was a point in the journey where all of a sudden the make it part really is when you start realizing that what you're doing is just your natural reactions now are to be healthy. So that's how I said, don't necessarily fake it till you make it. Fake it till it becomes a habit. Fake it until it becomes your lifestyle. Then you're going to love it. And then you reach goal. So great job, Jen. Super proud of you. Thank you for your email. It's an honor to be here with you walking and, super duper proud of you. So next up, Karen writes in. Karen says, "Hi, I love your podcast. It's such a help keeping me focused. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I've lost 10 pounds so far. A question though, how do you deal when you've been doing so well? Staying on track, all blue dots, being honest, and the scale doesn't budge, or if it does, it goes up a bit. I get so frustrated and I just want to give up. Any advice?" Well, Karen, a little bit here. So here's a couple things, and there is a chance. And of course, I don't know. I don't see your tracker. I don't see what you're legitimately eating. So take this with a grain of salt. But if it fits in, it fits in. But what I want you to look at, what I want you to think about is there are times when we're tracking everything, we're getting the blue dots, and we're being honest, but we're being inaccurate, and it's honestly inaccurate. So, for instance, if you go and if every time I put this on Connect, it's amazing to see the answers. I'll post a picture of something I'm having. Rare, I don't do it often, but when I do, and the range from people guessing as to what the point value is, usually, it's extreme. I think episode 1, 2, 3, somewhere in the beginning, I talk about this cookie. Go listen to that episode because that'll kind of get you geared up. What happens is at some point we have to legitimately guess as to what we're eating. So if you're in that scenario where you're tracking honestly, you're putting everything in, but you're making an assumption or you're making a guess on some of the foods, there's a chance that guess could be off. And so if that guess is off, the difference between maintaining your weight and losing weight is only 6 points, a day. So if you're guessing wrong by 2 to 3 points here and there, you could actually be in a maintenance mode legitimately because of your extra points. And so that's why I say you got to track the ketchup, you got to track the creamer, you got to track everything you eat because there's not much wiggle room between losing and gaining and losing and maintaining. So you want to make sure that you can think you're doing tracking honestly, but if there's a slight margin for error, an honest error, that'll play into it. That's number one. Number two is if the scale doesn't go, if it doesn't budge, I'm okay with that, right? I'm okay. It goes up. My scale, if you go look at my weigh entries, it's up and down all the time. But the trend line was down. It was consistently down. Giving up doesn't work. And so I'm going to talk about it. And I got another question, another email that's going to tie into this, but I don't want you to give up. Giving up is not going to be the answer here. So here's where I want you to focus. I want you to focus on your blue dots. I want you to focus on a blue dot, 7 days a week. Let's do that. Let's track everything. Just if you haven't incorporated it, This is a great opportunity to weigh something and to measure something. Measuring scoops and a scale are really helpful, because I found a lot of times, for instance, chips. If you're a potato chip person and the bag says you get about 32, what do? We reach in the bag and we grab 32 of the biggest chips that are in there, right? If you weigh them and put them on a scale and you get exactly 1 ounce of chips, it's exactly 1 ounce. That's exactly one serving of, depending on what chip you have. So that's what I want you to focus on. I want you to focus on being super accurate in your numbers. And try it for a couple weeks. Try it as if you can't look it up exactly, if you can't figure out the points by using the calculator and adding up all the protein, the sugar, and the calories and the saturated fat, if you can't add those in from real numbers, then let's pass this week. And let's do this for a couple weeks, and let's eat 100% consistent so we know, and let's just see what results we get. So I think you're doing great, Karen. The fact that you wrote into me just lets me know that you're in the game. It lets me know that your head's in the right place, and you've lost 10 pounds so far. And so you don't lose 10 pounds by accident. I'm very proud of you for losing 10 pounds is a lot of weight. A lot of times when we get discouraged, sometimes when you look and connect and you see these guys and gals who big losers, and in a sense where weight loss, they're heroes in the other term. But they're big. So we think the only way to get success is to lose 80, 90, 100 pounds. And while that's certainly successful, we have to remember a 10-pound weight loss that was done deliberately is hard work. It's time to get to the rest. So I'm super proud of you for getting down 10 pounds. Great work. Keep up the great work, and keep me posted. Let's go know what's going on. So thank you. Leslie writes in and she says, "Dear Dag, I appreciate your emails and your bits of wisdom. I have lost my focus and I can't seem to get it back. My nurse practitioner even prescribed me diet pills, and I lost 11 pounds in 2 weeks, but I felt like crap. I stopped them. Tomorrow, I am having my blood work and worry that my A1C and fasting blood sugar will be up. I had lost 54 pounds and I got just under 180 on my way to goal at 145. Today I was 192 something. I know I just have to track and focus, but I just can't, or I won't get back into the zone. Should I just quit? I've done Weight Watchers multiple times over the years, and I don't want to go full-fledged diabetes. I feel so much better eating healthy, whole foods, very low sugar and carbs." Leslie. Well, Leslie, let's start with the biggest question there. Should you just quit? No, absolutely not. What does quitting get you, right? So here's my scenario. I quit Weight Watchers 4 other times. And I quit all with good intentions. I quit with the intentions of, well, maybe one time I quit because I was frustrated. But the other times I quit because I was like, oh, I'm doing good. I don't need to do this anymore. And I can go back, and I've lost enough weight, and I'm going to, complacency set in. So the thing about quitting is, when you walk through the door for the very first time, the first time you ever went to a Weight Watcher meeting, what was that like? What was that day like? Something drove you into that office, into that meeting room. Whatever it is that drove you in there, if you have not completely solved it, then all quitting does for you now is it puts that on pause until that feeling comes back. And the feeling will come back, and then you will rejoin because you know you want to do this. So all quitting gets you is a new start date down the road. So let's not quit. Let's get our focus, because we know we're going to come back to it. So if we know we're going to come back anyways, the time's going to pass anyways, let's just stick with it. And I don't want you to focus on being perfect. You can't be perfect on this planet. It just does not exist. But you can be committed to making a difference, and you can be committed to making a change. And that's where I want you to focus. You've answered your own question. You feel so much better eating healthy, whole, healthy foods, very low sugar and carbs. Focus on that. Focus on that feeling of how you feel differently. When you get into your doc, explain to them and talk to them about what you're doing. Tell them how well you're doing on the program. Tell them how well you've done. If you've lost weight, you lost 54 pounds. 54 pounds, you don't do that by accident. So you know the program works. Not only do you know the program works, you know you have the ability to follow the program, and you lost 54 pounds. Now, depending on where you are now, that doesn't matter. What matters is you know you have the tools to do it. And that's where I want you to focus, is that you can do this. Absolutely, you can do this. If you've lost 54 pounds, you can get to your goal weight. Do what you did then. Stick with it. Remember why you joined and go after it. So I know you can get there, and I can't wait to hear it when you do. So, Leslie, thanks for your email. Hey, folks, what are you celebrating? I want to share it. Let's go to FatDag.com, click on Listen Now, send in your celebrations, your comments, your questions. I'll work them in as part of the show because I really want you to be proud of what you're doing. And when we share it with the community, it gives hope. And people, every journey is different. And that's what's beautiful about this show that I'm really happy about, is that your emails remind me of so many different parts of my journey, a lot of them that I've forgotten. And so as I continue to get them, we work them into the show, and there's somebody somewhere that something resonates with them. And there may be shows you're like, no, none of that applies, but the next one, all of it applies. So that's the beauty of being sharing this all together. So go ahead and send them in. Click on Listen Now on FatDag.com. Send in your emails. If you get a chance, if you go to the Google Play Store, go and download the new app for the Android market. I'd love a review out there. You can still listen in iTunes. I'd love a review out there. Whatever you can do to help spread the word. Thank you so much for all the tags and quotes and stuff on Connect. I love seeing that. I'm doing my best to read them all, and I'm pretty sure I'm getting them all, but boy, is it tough to get the responses in. But I truly am pleased to see that. And it gives me great honor to continue doing this with you. But that's going to do it for this time. Remember, losing weight and getting healthy has nothing to do with luck. You've got to remain disciplined and focused. Set your sights on your goals and go after it. I wish you good focus.